Well, Darren, I suppose defeat at Bradford, missed opportunity, could have been better, could have been worse in the way that you're still in the playoff mix.
Yeah, in terms of the performance, you know, the first half we were in control of the game without penetrating enough in terms of chances on goal. And then second half, it was a disappointing performance. And quickly it gone from 1-0 down to 3-0 and the game's over. So that was the most disappointing thing, the way that our bad reaction to going behind. But we've got to react. I'm glad there's a game tomorrow, so quickly after it. And obviously the positives that came out of it in terms of the other results went for us. So it's all to play for with 10 games to go. And that whatever team finds a level of consistency will get that last playoff spot. And hopefully it's us.
Yeah, that seems to be the problem of late. Consistency. You could say the glass is half full because you're still in the playoff mix, half empty because you've missed the opportunity to leapfrog Doncaster, or it's even smashed on the floor because you're just so angry of the inconsistency. Well,
it's been there for a long time now, 6 months or so. We haven't had back-to-back wins. And like I say, we have to find consistency. Because if we don't, we're not going to make the playoffs. And the opportunity is there for us. We're in touching distance of it. We start tomorrow night at Wimbledon, a team fighting for their life, similar to Bradford. So we've got to have a better performance. I will freshen it up and make changes to the team. But I'm hopeful of a better performance and certainly more attempts on goal. We had 3 or 4 at Bradford. We were unlucky with Goddard. We felt that he was onside. That may have changed the game. And certainly reacting better to going behind because there was still a lot to play for at that moment. And to go from 1-0 to 3-0 in 15 minutes is very disappointing.
Yeah, the key word you mentioned on Saturday was a lack of discipline in terms of finding the right pass at times. How are you planning to sort of implement that in your team with only 1 or 2 days?
We work on it all the time. It's not as if we've just realised. We have to have more. They have to understand the structure to how we want to play. It's something that is new to them in terms of the training sort of sessions we do. But they have to take it onto a pitch and it has to be sort of making sure that consistent performances and consistent results. That's what it's about at this stage of the season. But what's important now is reactions. And teams are going to drop points. You're going to lose games of football throughout the course of a season. It's how you react to that. And there's certain ways of losing games of football. Never nice to lose, but certainly Saturday wasn't a nice way to lose a game in the way that we had so much control of it. But everyone seems to have come through it fine in terms of fitness, so I've got a full squad to pick from, which is good.
So no knocks or injuries other than Dembele and Knight at this time?
Dembele and Knight are coming along fine. Josh Knight's hoping to get on the grass. He's going to do a week's training at Leicester and be back with us, so I reckon he'll be back before the end of the month, certainly. Dembele's flying. He's training next week. He's a massive bonus for us. He's back about 3 weeks earlier than expected. So he's been doing everything in training, twisting, turning with the physios, straight line running, got through all that, kicking the ball, got through all that. He joined in a little bit of the session today in the boxes, so that's a big bonus for us.
Do you think he might even be fit for Saturday?
No. He would need to train Monday and have a full week's training, and he will then be available for the 16th, not the 16th, 23rd. And then we've now got a 2-week gap between games after Southend, so it'll give us time to get him up to speed.
Are you looking forward to having a player like Dembele back? Gives you something different?
Well, we've got a lot of attacking options. It's just getting the right balance, the right blend. And I've seen that in the time I've been here. Dembele was one of those. Unfortunately, he got injured pretty quick. But he can play wide, he can play as a 10, he can play as a 9, so he gives us good options.
Yeah, and the problem of late seems to have been a lack of ability to get the most out of your match winners. You leave them on the pitch rather than substituting them because you think they've got the ability to win the match and provide something special, but just the last games didn't seem to be able to do that.
Well, it's again going back to that word consistency, and you know, if they play like they did against Wickham on a consistent basis, if you're talking about people like Gordon and Madison and Tomlin, then obviously that's the level that you want, but it's getting that consistency. But we've got a lot of attacking options that I can pick from, and that's a good thing.
So what's your sort of thinking going into tomorrow's game? You said the selection door seems to have been flung wide open again.
Well, yeah, but I mean, whether you want to call it freshening up or changing it for tactical reasons or changing it because I feel the changes are necessary after Saturday, whatever, it doesn't matter how you all add it up. I've got to pick a team that I think is capable of beating Wimbledon, and whatever team I pick should be capable of doing that if we do the things right. But like I said, it doesn't matter where teams are in the league, or whether in the middle, the top, the bottom. We've got to make sure we do get our bit right. And on Saturday, certainly in the second half, we didn't do that.
Yeah, would you say you're planning to change offensively, defensively in a certain part of the pitch? Because we've had Conor O'Malley in the team for an extended run. He's shown promise, but shown a bit of inconsistency and inexperience at times. And is it a case of sort of keeping the faith with a young keeper like him?
Well, looking at the games that I've been in charge of, I don't think he's shown any inconsistency. I think he's made a mistake against Wycombe. I think he's done fine. I've got two capable goalkeepers, and at the moment Conor's got the shirt.
Good stuff. And I suppose seeing some tweets from Darren, the chairman, in midweek, he seems to have given you a bit of a vote of confidence. He says he'd like you to have the role long term, you and Gavin.
Yeah, we've spoke, and it's not. I certainly don't think it's a vote of confidence, but it's something that I think he when we spoke, when I came in, it was such a how can I put it? It was such a sort of quick turnaround. I had to make a decision very, very quickly. But after speaking to the chairman and hearing what he had to say, it was, and obviously his plans about changing things, then all we spoke about was till the end of the season. Since I've come in, things have changed in terms of how we work, and the players seem to be enjoying it. Obviously, circumstances have made it difficult for us to get as many wins as we hoped. So we're planning on sitting down at the end of the month, myself, Gavin, and the owners, Chairman Barry, and Randy and Jason, and everyone's been very positive, and everyone's helped us massively. So we'll have that conversation at the end of the month.
Good stuff. And
looking, it's not based upon results. It certainly is not. I think there's a long-term project that everyone's got in place.
Yeah, and looking more short-term then, Wimbledon, as you said, a bottom side, it's going to be another tough test for you.
Absolutely. I seen them a few weeks ago at Walsall. Since they've changed their formation to 3 at the back, they've done very well. They've picked up results. They got a comfortable win on Saturday.
Against Doncaster of all teams.
Yeah, so it's going to be tough. Tough down there, always is. But like I say, we've got to make sure that we get our performance right, and if we get it up to the standards that I know we're capable of, then we'll give them a game, obviously.
Is it slightly frustrating for you in a way, not having much time to implement much on the training ground before the game?
No, we did enough. We covered Saturday. We had a good meeting with the players this morning. We then did a bit of work on the grass. Obviously, we had to shorten the distances in terms of not getting too much into them, but full understanding of how we want to play tomorrow. And I think it's important that we're just repetitive in terms of what we're doing, in the sense that the players understanding how we want to play, whatever formation it is. They're getting an understanding of it now. And that's what disappointed me in the second half Saturday, because I would have liked more attempts on goal and 1 or 2 things quicker in the edge of the box, but we were in complete control of the game, complete control, and we went away from that because we felt we had to change. If we'd have stuck to what we were doing, then I felt it would have given a better chance of winning the game.
And tomorrow night's game against Wimbledon, I suppose it's a chance for those who've been on the sidelines to show what they're made of and make a claim for a regular starting place.
Yeah, possibly. We've got, a biggish squad. And as I've said to the players from day one, everyone's going to be needed, and that's not changed.
Great. I've also got to get your reaction about the recent pitch invasions. What's your sort of take on it? Darren said the guy should be banned. What's your take?
Well, I don't think a ban's enough. I think it's got to be a bit more than that. And it's actually a shame, because it's not really Birmingham City's fault, because it's some lunatic that's ran on the pitch. But he could have had a knife. It's got to be more than a ban. It's got to put a prison sentence on it. I've got to be honest. I cannot believe that people are doing that and then laughing about it. I know I've come across Jack Grealish a few times, good lad, and he handled it magnificently, I have to say. And I was quite pleased that he actually ended up and got the winner. It was justice, really.